Hello and welcome to The Man Games. This is the podcast show, is The Man
And the wife.
podcast. Today is a different episode, so I'm going to ask the wife 10 questions that I've never asked her before.
And I'm going to ask the man 10 questions I've never asked him before.
Do you want to go first? Do you want to flip a coin? Do you want to, I don't know, how do you want to do this, my sweetheart?
Shall we do, like, you do one, then I do one, and you do one, then I do one? Do it that way, or...?
Yeah?
We should point out that these questions are all related to wrestling, not just 10 random questions to break up our marriage.
We could do that on an episode there. Someone, would like to hear that. So I will let you go first because the ladies go first.
Okay, question 1. If you could go to any WrestleMania live, and that's any from the past history, okay, which one would you go to and why?
Ooh, good question. Good question. Well, I reckon you think I would say WrestleMania 31 because that's what the one where Sting was had his match with Triple H. But I think if I'd been there and he'd have lost, I think I wouldn't have enjoyed the rest of the show, to be honest. The way the match ended, I don't think I would have enjoyed, some of the things, because I watched it at home, obviously. I got over it a bit quicker, and, I did enjoy every other match on the card. So, yeah, it wouldn't be WrestleMania 31. I might have to say maybe WrestleMania 30, just because the opening match is a killer match, and obviously Daniel Bryan won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and also it was the night the streak ended, so I think that would be a really good WrestleMania to be there. I know the mid-card is a bit not as good, but I think, you've got an excellent match in the opening, you've got the streak ending. I mean, imagine being in the crowd for that. And also, Daniel Bryan winning both belts at the end of WrestleMania.
Am I right in thinking this is where Shane McMahon and AJ Styles had a match?
No.
No.
I was just meaning 33. That was 3 years later. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
They just all go into one for you, darling.
They do, absolutely, yeah. I've not got the best memory.
Like that Prince Saudi guy, when they do the Saudi shows.
Right.
The first one, he was like, I want Macho Man Randy Savage and Yokozuna. I'm like, yeah, they're all gone.
Okay, my question, go.
So, my first question to you is, when did you first decide you actually quite liked wrestling?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't distinctly remember a point.
Because I remember the first time we sat and watched pay-per-view together, it was the Royal Rumble. It was on my Sheamus one. And you said to me, when Justin Gabriel came up, you're like, ooh, who's he?
I was just about to say that. So I can remember feeling like I didn't have a choice in the matter of liking wrestling or not. When you turned up to my house with a TV, a DVD player, and a DVD of wrestling, and installed it. I don't think, was I home when you did that? I think I came home from work and you would...
That's probably, she didn't actually have a TV in her bedroom. And, like every person needs a TV in the bedroom, really, don't they?
And I didn't own a DVD player.
No.
I didn't actually pay for a TV license at the time. So I actually watched television. So I came home. We've been dating... I want to say 3 weeks in a push.
Ooh. That's quite good, actually. I was going to say 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks.
No, I think you're more right. It probably was 3 or 4 weeks.
And you've installed your own television and got a wrestling DVD on. It's like, oh, this is happening.
Yeah.
But
I can't actually remember how I got the TV to your house.
Well, it wasn't a particularly big TV,
was
it?
No, but I didn't walk around the town with a TV in my hand, did I? I mean, like I said, I can't remember.
You once walked through the town with a table tennis. I call them ping pong. Do you call them ping pong over here?
No, we call them table tennis.
Yeah, table tennis.
So,
tables.
Side story. My friend that lived in our local town, ordered a table tennis table to my house, which was out of town. So one night, me, him, and another friend, 3 of us, had to carry this massive table tennis into town.
About a mile and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's probably like, for a normal person, it's probably like a 20-minute walk. So yeah, it wasn't easy. But yeah, that is a story for another day.
Yes. So, point that I got into wrestling, I do remember that, yeah, so who was it? Justin Gabriel, is that what you said?
Yeah.
And then there was, who else was on that card that I said was quite good looking?
Probably John Cena. He fought Kane in a match before the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, was Orton there as well?
He probably was.
Yeah. So I remember being more interested then. But I can't remember a point. I think the biggest turning point actually was a lot later on when we went to our first live show, and which would have been in November.
Yeah.
So obviously Royal Rumble was obviously in the January, and we watched it, and I watched the WrestleMania and everything. And I enjoyed it, but I think when I went to my first live show, it was like, yeah, this is really good. Look how athletic they are and the atmosphere, and I think that sort of was the real turning point.
So the first live show that we went to, the main event was CM Punk against Ryback. There was Daniel Bryan and Kane, Team Hell No against Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow. That was probably, I would say, our favourite match of the night.
Yep.
Also, I think there was John Cena against Dolph Ziggler. That was the match before intermission. AJ Lee was there and Vicky Guerrero was there also, I do believe. Just trying to think of any other matches I can think off the top of my head at that time.
Yeah, I think if you asked me in our first year of being together, that how many years? 7 years later we got married and we had our honeymoon in based around SummerSlam, I would laugh at you and say no, we didn't, but we did. So
yeah,
there you are. Okay, question 2 for you. If you could bring back any wrestler from the dead, okay, so any wrestlers unfortunately passed away, who would it be and what match would you like to see them in? So they could be wrestling anybody who's now alive, okay, so you can only bring one person back from the dead.
Yeah.
And they can wrestle anybody now. What are you laughing at?
So for some reason you made me think of the genie of Aladdin. Just because he can't bring people back from the dead. I know it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I can't kill anyone. Yeah, so don't ask. Oh, this is a tough question. Well, see, I am thinking Eddie Guerrero, but I can't actually think who I'd want. See, he never actually fought Shawn Michaels, so that might be a really good match.
But Shawn Michaels now, not Shawn Michaels 10 years ago.
So they have to come back and face someone now in this current time.
Yeah. So face someone now. Okay. So they're literally coming back to Earth for one day. They're going to wrestle somebody at this point in time.
Well, I'm going to say something very, very controversial then, which probably might get me a lot of thumbs down on this video. But I would probably pick Chris Benoit, and I would pick Chris Benoit against Daniel Bryan.
Okay, both because they're technical wrestling?
Yeah, both because they're very similar. I think they would have a good match together. Also, that is, that has got nothing to do with how he ended his life and that going on. This is purely based on his wrestling ability.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying I want to bring a murderer back from the dead, anything like that. So yeah, it would be Chris Benoit against Daniel Bryan.
Okay, good.
So my next question is, what is your least favourite wrestler of all time?
Least favourite wrestler of all time?
See, I think I know what you're going to say, but you might surprise me with something different.
Okay. Least favourite wrestler. This is hard. I don't know, actually. I feel like I'm on the Wrestle Talk quiz when you have to ask like the 20 questions or something, and then you can't think of anybody that's actual wrestler at the time.
Don't say Sid.
Least favourite wrestler.
So, like, just like tell us, like, because this is a podcast show, you can't just be like sitting and thinking. Who's going in your mind at the moment before you actually choose?
Who's going in my mind?
It's great content for the listeners.
There's, for some reason, Ryback's coming to my mind, but I don't know why he just sort of popped up, but he did. But who else do I get annoyed at? I feel like there's somebody that's really obvious that like I get angry at whenever I see them, but now I can't think who that person is. Am I right in thinking that?
Well, maybe. I know you really didn't use like this person, but I don't know how you feel about him now.
Can you tell me who this person is?
I thought when I wrote the question down, I thought you'd say Baron Corbin.
Good shout. Yeah, I never liked Baron Corbin. He's really annoying. Never liked him.
So I actually did like Baron Corbin in his early NXT days when he was beating people really like he'd start the match and the crowd would be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to see how long the match would go. I really did like Baron Corbin then, but then he turned heel and from then I've just kind of lost interest in him. Like some of his matches are good, but yeah, he just doesn't really do anything for me really. While the wife is having a think, if this is the first time you're listening to the Man and the Wife podcast, please give us a subscribe. It really does help the channel out. We are trying to grow this channel into something really good, so you subscribing would really help us out. Also, if you're enjoying listening to this podcast, give us a like. Let us know in the comments, would you like to see more of these Q&A shows? Any other ideas for shows? Let us know. We could maybe do a quiz or something, or I don't know, 20, I don't know, just spitballing ideas. Maybe we'll edit this a little bit out, maybe. I've gone a bit rambling now.
So, least favourite wrestler. I am going to go with, actually,
Ooh, she's going to throw a curveball.
Going to throw a curveball in here. Nia Jax.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's just come to my mind. I don't know, it's just... She's just annoys me. I don't like, maybe it's the character she's been given and whatnot, and I feel like, obviously I know wrestling's a dangerous business, but it's been a lot of injuries, which worries me. But I've never been able to get on board with any of her characters, and she's never somebody I look forward to watching wrestle.
Yeah, that's good. And also, when we watched Total Divas together, she's been a bit of a vibe.
She has been. I don't know how much that is production or not, but
I know. But like, obviously, on an episode of that, she fell out with Carmella for not being a good worker.
Yeah.
And then obviously Nia Jax has actually injured quite a few people, reportedly. So
yes, so I definitely Nia Jax. Stick with that answer.
Wow.
Question 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you had to create a tag team match between a team from AEW and WWE, what match would it be? So there's two tags.
So I have to pick like one person from each to make a team.
No, you create a match, so you have to pick a tag team from WWE, a tag team from AEW to create a match. What 2 teams would you use?
Well, it would definitely be the Usos from WWE.
Okay.
They're probably my favourite tag team in WWE. Well, for a long time, really. I do like the New Day, but I think Usos, when they changed their characters to the One Day-ish characters, that's when I really got behind the Usos. I did really like the face painted one, but I think that did get a bit stale. So when they did change it, I think that was a really good thing. See, I reckon a lot of people will like saying, "No, say the Young Bucks," but I'm not really a massive fan of the Young Bucks, really.
Okay, so who would you pick?
I think I would probably pick Kenny Omega and Hangman and Page, the current. Well, we're calling this now. There might not be one that goes up. So yeah, the AEW Tag Team Champions Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page versus the Usos.
Okay, nice.
So now your third question for you. What is your favourite wrestling faction?
Favorite wrestling faction?
Yeah.
I would probably have to go with the New Day. You seem very surprised by that.
Yeah. I don't really know if I call the New Day a faction though.
Oh, so how
They're
would
more
you?
of a tag team. To me, a faction is more than like 3 people. Really.
More than 3 people.
No, but if you want to say the New Day, then you can say the New Day.
You're telling me it's not a faction now?
No, I'm just saying in my eyes, to me, that like a faction is a group of people, not just three. Like a New Day is more of a trio, isn't it, than a faction?
Okay.
That's just me.
Right. So faction, I have to think of more people now. Okay. Favorite faction. I feel like I would have really liked DX had I been watching
in the 90s.
In the 90s.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy when they do their stuff and they come on now, and I enjoy watching their matches and stuff like that. So I might pick DX.
Hmm.
Well, who do you think I was going to pick?
I don't know.
I realize no one can see him, but he has a right smirk on his face.
No.
What?
Oh, it's just the WCW child in me was like, how can you not say the NWO?
Well, I knew you were thinking that, but I just found they got a bit ridiculous. I mean, I'm not saying DX hasn't, but there was just so many different versions of them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, which version then do you pick, and blah blah blah.
So if you want to comment in the comments why she is wrong, please do that. No, that is my WCW bias.
You're very WCW biased, aren't you? Okay, question 4 for you. Who do you think will be the next wrestler to leave WWE and go to AEW?
Ooh. I might have to quickly just have a look on their Wikipedia.
On their what, sorry?
You know what I said.
So say what was that word again?
Don't be like that. Okay. Media. Wikipedia, that's what I said. She bullies me, everyone. So, WWE current roster.
Is that because you don't know who's currently on WWE, or is this...
No, it's just like, I feel like if I don't look at the list in front of me, then I'm going to forget someone. So if you want to try and kill some time, darling, you do that.
Absolutely. Not sure what you want me to say.
Okay, well, we'll just edit this bit out then.
We will.
The next person to leave for AEW.
I thought you'd have this one like lined up in
if you'd asked me maybe 3 months ago, I would have done. But now obviously a lot of people have been released and some have actually gone. So if you'd asked me like a few months ago, it'd been like, oh, Brody Lee or the Revival, but they've already gone and done that.
Okay, fair enough.
So
I thought this was quite an easy one I threw in.
No. Well, I'm trying to think of someone that genuinely might not be happy and would want to go somewhere else. The only thing is, obviously, I don't know what people's contract situation is and things like that.
Just don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
You see, I could see someone like Tyler Breeze going because he's very good friends with Sean Spears. And then, saying that, they have got a bit more of a role in NXT now, but I could see maybe someone like Tyler Breeze going. It would do him a lot of good. I would personally like someone like Dolph Ziggler to go, just because he needs something new. He's been in WWE, all this time. He could do with like a refreshment. Even if he just went for a year to do something new, then go back to the WWE to try and be a bigger star again. Who do I think would go? I'm going to say Rey Mysterio, just because they're doing this angle with, or recently they're doing this angle just there with Seth Rollins. This could be a way of writing him out and him go to AEW because he's good friends with Cody.
Okay.
But that was, obviously that was the hardest question you've asked me.
Oh.
To try and think of like a logical person that would go, do you know what I mean? It's not like...
who would you like to
yeah,
go, I suppose?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it was who I would like to go, it would probably be someone like Tyler Breeze or Dolph Ziggler.
Okay. Right, your turn.
My turn to ask you a question now.
It is.
So, who is your favourite female wrestler of all time?
Favourite female of all time?
Yeah.
Becky Lynch.
Good answer. That is a very good answer. I've never been so proud.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I was umming and ahhing a little bit about, like, I used to really like the Bella Twins. But when I think about, like, favourite wrestler that, like, watching her live and everything that she's done and every aspect, you know, definitely Becky Lynch.
Oh, wow. See, I thought you might have said AJ Lee, because you did use that AJ Lee a lot when we first started watching wrestling.
It's true. But she's not the man.
She isn't. So...
Your turn.
Yeah.
For a question. Oh. What is your least favourite WrestleMania main event? And how would you rebook it to make it better?
Oh, this is easy.
Has to be the main event?
Yeah.
Okay.
John Cena versus The Miz. WrestleMania 27, I would have just changed it to be Rock and Cena that year.
Oh, okay. You don't like,
I did like the bit. It was a long time, but because they brought The Rock in just before WrestleMania, to me, it just seemed a bit silly having The Miz and John Cena in the main event, and then I just didn't really.
So it's just purely because The Rock had entered the picture, but nothing against Miz.
I do like The Miz, but I feel like another match should have main evented that card. I'm not saying he didn't deserve to be in the title picture with Cena, but I don't think, him winning the main event at WrestleMania is probably the best way to close a WrestleMania, really.
Okay.
But it was all, and like it was never about Miz, even though he won the match. It was all about Rock and Cena.
Okay.
And then I think Cena won the belt a month later at Extreme Rules anyway.
Right.
So yeah, definitely WrestleMania 27 main event, and yeah, I would just have had Rock and Cena that year.
Okay.
But I did actually really enjoy the build we did get. But I'm just saying that would be how I would do it. Who is your? Actually, that's a bit similar to the question I just asked. So I'll leave that for a little bit. Actually, worst match that you have seen? It can be live or on TV.
Worst match? Oh God. For some reason, all I can think is Backlash.
Yeah.
That we've just watched.
I feel like this was a really hard one for you. Sorry.
This is I can't like. My memory doesn't go back far enough to think about every match I've ever seen and thought, oh, that was a really bad one. I can only think.
No, I just thought maybe one would stick out in your mind and you'd be able to say like, oh, actually, I thought X versus Y was very bad.
Okay. Not saying a bad match, but a match that I didn't. A match that I was looking forward to, I'd say, and then I felt like it didn't deliver for me, was when we were at SummerSlam 2018,
Mm.
and the Daniel Bryan
Oh,
and
I was afraid you were going to say this.
oh really?
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan and Miz, because I thought they had such a good feud and there was just so much, and I just feel like I didn't feel like we got the payoff, and I thought we were going to get the payoff there.
No, but I think it wasn't their fault. I think it was the space they were on the card, because we were all burnt out by this point.
Perhaps.
I think the match wasn't bad. I think just the fans were burnt out from the show being so long.
Maybe, but I think it's very hard for me to pick a match that my least favourite match, when you talk about just sat watching TV at home like that.
I'm not saying you. I'm like, obviously it's your opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think if they'd been the opening match,
perhaps it
might have been completely different. Cause I think on that show the opening match was the best match. Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler, but we seem to like opening matches a lot on the Man on the Wave podcast.
We do, don't we? So yeah, that's my match I'm picking. Question for you: what number are we up to? What is your favourite type of stipulation match?
A ladder match.
Just a ladder match?
Yeah,
basic.
Just a basic ladder match. Yeah.
Why?
They've just always been my favourite.
Okay.
They're
one of my least favourites. Well, no, I just get infuriated that they can't climb a ladder with any.
I just seen so many good ladder matches. Like, I'm quite lucky. I feel like the things I've really wanted to do in life, I've actually done.
Like Meet Me and Marry Me.
Yeah, Marry the Girl of My Dreams was third on the list.
You did tell me that meeting Sting was better than our wedding day, so...
No, I didn't. It was a joke, everyone. It was a joke.
It wasn't.
No, so like obviously when I was a kid, my dream was to go and watch wrestling in America, and I've been lucky to do that. And then obviously, if you could, and we were all sister, if you could meet one person in the world, who would it be? It was Sting. I got to do that. So if I could get to see live any one stipulation, it would be a ladder match.
Okay.
I mean, in WCW, obviously I grew up watching WCW. They didn't have great ladder matches, but when when I started watching WWE, I saw RVD, obviously only on the telly. RVD and Eddie Guerrero had a great ladder match. RVD and Jeff Hardy had a great ladder match. Jeff Hardy and The Undertaker had a great ladder match. Just like, they're just, and some of these were on Raw as well. They weren't even on pay-per-views. They were putting good ladder matches on weekly TV. Obviously, Razor and Shawn Michaels is one of the greatest ladder matches of all time. Jericho and Shawn Michaels had a great ladder match at No Mercy one year.
Okay. So big fan of ladder matches then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I feel like we could keep talking about ladder matches.
You could. I won't stop you.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Okay. Question?
So if you could meet one wrestler that you haven't already, maybe word that a bit stupid. So if you could meet one wrestler, who would it be, basically?
Finn Balor.
Well.
Absolutely.
And why is that?
He's very good looking.
Mm-hmm.
Would
you take a block of cheese with you to see if you could grate on his abs?
Yes, I would. No, but in all seriousness, I just think he's a great talent, and I'd just love to meet him. And
he's very underused in WWE.
Yeah, I do think he's underused, but for me, it doesn't take away the fact that I can see.
I'm not saying that does.
I know that. I'm just saying.
I just feel like you're getting defensive.
I'm not getting defensive. I'm just trying to explain my position. Okay, and I think it'd be somebody that someone that I've always really enjoyed his matches, and I like the way he's uses his characters and stuff like that. He's somebody that, I think it'd definitely be Finn Balor. Mm-hmm. Question for you, sorry.
I think you keep on forgetting how this game works.
You're not doing any better than me.
This isn't a point system. It's just...
Okay. What is your least favourite storyline of all time?
Triple H came straight into my mind when you said the least favourite.
Least favourite storyline.
Least favourite storyline. probably has been a few. At the moment, my mind's just gone blank.
What have you got any in your head whatsoever? Storylines that you did not like?
Well, if
Could be anywhere. It doesn't just have to be WWE.
I really didn't like the Goldberg attacking Hacksaw Jim Duncan when I was a child, which I spoke about before. Maybe if that episode has gone up at this point. So yeah, I didn't like Goldberg attacking Hacksaw Jim Duncan after his kidney cancer and beating him up, and there being blood. Didn't really like that. I didn't really like the whole Goldberg heel run in WCW. Didn't really think that made a lot of sense, and I was only 8 or 9 at the time. Didn't like the way how they used Scott Hall's alcohol problem against him in WCW. I don't like how they do that with Jeff Hardy neither.
So now, which would be your least favourite? If you had to pick one, what would be your least favourite?
The two that are coming to my mind at the moment, maybe it's because it's quite recently. There was Baron Corbin against Roman Reigns last year. When we were there in the Manchester tape, and they had a good match. The match was good, but then the feud seemed to go on for ages, and there was a whole thing of a dog coming down, and then they covered him in dog food, and later Corbin got covered in dog food. So that might be it, or also there was Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman seemed to be in a feud for ages as well on Raw. So maybe I would say with Corbin and Roman Reigns, just because it was more recent, and I've still got a bad taste in my mouth about that.
Okay.
That's not a pun related to dog food.
Right.
So if you could have been at any wrestling event ever, which one would you pick?
Any wrestling event ever?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Evolution.
Oh wow, that's
the
a good
women's.
one. Yeah.
Because I feel like, obviously being a woman, I feel like the atmosphere would have been amazing. And I just think you got a chance to see a lot of old talent as well as new talent as well. And it would have been nice to support the women. So yeah, I definitely pick Evolution.
Oh, good.
What do you think I was going to pick?
Oh,
I thought sometimes you ask me these questions.
No, I thought maybe you'd pick like when Balor won the title or something. Or the first ever women's Royal Rumble. They were like maybe two that I thought you might.
Yeah, no, Evolution, because I feel like it was a nice big turning point. I mean, I'm really disappointed that they've only ever done it once. Like, I feel like they made such a big deal.
Well, if you watched my weekly roundup that I recorded, darling, I did report that they asked Trish Stratus to come back for an Evolution 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
But obviously she's recently retired again. So yeah.
Okay.
I think the whole world pandemic has put a stop on a lot of things, and that might have been one of them.
I know, but they didn't. When was it? What year was Evolution?
Oh no, it was 2018, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, we're now what happened in 2019. Mm-hmm. So anyway, hopefully they do another one. But yeah,
I definitely hope they do.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to reviewing Evolution on the podcast.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay, very similar to the question I just given you, but we're going to go for it again anyway. What is your favourite storyline of all time? You have to pick your favourite.
Favourite storyline of all time. I really liked it when, obviously playing off from real life, I really liked the Matt Hardy Edge Lita love triangle, obviously because it felt real. because obviously it was real, but obviously then they sorted the differences out and Matt came back. A lot of the promos seemed really real as well.
Okay.
So at the beginning, you might not have seen this, but Matt Hardy just started like jumping over the barricade and interfering in Edge's matches and things. It just felt, like real that Matt was, jumping the rail and attacking Edge. They weren't even calling him Edge; just calling him Adam. Like it just felt really real.
Okay.
So
that surprises me.
What do you think I was going to say?
I don't know what I thought I was going to say, but I wouldn't think it'd be one that involves cheating. I don't know why.
I just like the realism behind it. I like feuds that have a bit of real life involved with them. That is one that comes at the top of my head.
It's fine. I'm not judging you.
Oh, I know that. I'm just thinking. Just trying to think of.
No, if that's your top one, it's the one that's top of your head.
Well, I mean, could you call Sting turning into the Crow character a storyline? Because obviously, if that you called that a storyline, it's more of a character change, I suppose, than a storyline.
Yeah, it's not a storyline, is it?
No. I did really like the invasion with ECW and WCW forming the alliance, but obviously it was a bit lackluster because they didn't have Sting, Goldberg, Nash, Flair, Goldberg, all those other people. So I don't really think I can say that. But yeah, if no one has seen the Invasion pay-per-view, RVD versus Jeff Hardy on that pay-per-view is excellent. Make sure you check that out. So yeah, I think I'm going to say Edge and Matt Hardy.
Okay.
We'll stop recording, and then I'll be like, "Oh, I should have said this."
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be the next big star in either AEW or WWE?
In either or, okay.
I mean, you can pick one in each, or just pick one in general. It's up to you.
In AEW, I'm tossing up between Orange Cassidy.
I knew you were going to say Orange Cassidy.
Or Sammy Guevara.
Oh wow.
I feel like they're both because obviously they're both still young, two young blokes who have a lot of potential. I think what they give to the company and to the shows is brilliant, so I'd be pressed to pick between one of them. I wonder, although I love Orange Cassidy's gimmick, I just think it embodies so much of the teenage spirit. It's just so funny for me. I mean, I work with children. I work at colleges and and schools, and I can just, although he does it over the top, it is so true the way he is, and I think that's hilarious. But then I wonder, because I've not seen him do anything else, is that his only gimmick? Can he get better to become a top star? Whereas Sammy Guevara, I feel like
you've got more layers in the character.
Absolutely, and I think when he did that singing thing to Judas and stuff like that, I felt that was very natural in his persona, in himself, that he can just sort of take things and put a spin on it to make it look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Sammy Guevara. Guevara, sorry. I pronounced it wrong the whole time.
I thought you said Sammy Guerrero for a second there.
No. I'm not that stupid.
So that's your AEW answer?
Yeah.
Have you got a WWE answer? Or?
WWE answer. I would love to say it's somebody like Tyler Bate. Because I love him and I think he's a great talent as well. But I think being British may hold him back. Unfortunately, they don't always push people from other places, do they?
They've currently got a Scottishman as their world champion, but alright.
Well, I know, but how long does it take him to get there, sort of thing?
Oh, I know. I'm
and think of the crap he had to go through to get there.
Yeah.
Thinking 3MB and stuff like that. Yeah.
When you said think of the crap, I think everyone thought of 3MB.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. I'm not saying that he wouldn't. They couldn't get there, and that they don't do that. But I'm trying to think of somebody else. No, I'm going to stick with Sammy for the whole answer.
Sammy Guevara for the whole answer?
Yeah.
I thought you might have said Adam Cole for WWE.
Yeah.
Or Velveteen Dream. They were the two I thought you might have said.
I don't know. I think the issue that I have with WWE, I feel it really hard to pick someone in WWE because you see them in NXT and they're brilliant, and you think, God, this is amazing. And then they get to the main roster and they just get murdered, and you just think, how can something that was so hot in NXT then go up to the main roster and just be like, Shinsuke Nakamura, for me, I think of like, he was just, he still is, sorry, but in NXT he was just incredible. It was just like this whole new character, something that's so fresh, so new, and then you take him up to main roster and he's just like flamed out at nothing.
Yeah.
What's he doing now? And I feel like I can't give an answer for somebody because I just don't trust them.
Yeah. Look at Sanity.
Yeah.
Where's Shayna Baszler? She had a match with Becky Lynch and she's hardly been on Raw since.
It's just, I don't, yeah. And then, but I always think it's really funny. So like, but then you look at some of the women. I always think it's really funny. Like Alexa Bliss and Carmella, who were both just sort of managers in that in NXT, and then they come up to the main roster and do, win belts and stuff. And you think,
I really like Carmella. I think she's underrated. I'm not saying she's as good as some of the others, but I do think she has more to give than she's allowed to give.
Yeah, I like Carmella as well, actually. Yeah. Okay, question for you. Who is somebody you would like to see in the Hall of Fame who isn't already? Who do you think deserves to be in the Hall of Fame who isn't already?
I'm going to say China.
Okay.
Just because I think the reason why she's not in the Hall of Fame is a BS reason. The reason she's not in the Hall of Fame is because they say what she did after wrestling. If someone Googles China, they're going to see what she did later on. You can say about anyone. Scott Hall's in the Hall of Fame, he had his demons. Jet the Snake's exactly the same. There's loads of people who's now in the Hall of Fame that, had addiction problems or other problems. Like Jimmy Snuka potentially killed someone, and I'm sure he's in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I think just because she went on to do other things, doesn't mean to say, she shouldn't go in the Hall of Fame. I know her career got cut short, but like someone like Paige, sure they couldn't say to Paige, "Oh well, you can't go into the Hall of Fame because you had leaked videos." Like, what's the difference? There is none.
Well, one was a choice.
Well, she chose to let someone video her.
Well, I know that, but there's a difference between you choosing to film yourself to make money to...
No, but what I'm saying... Sorry but to interrupt you. But they're saying, if you Google China, you will see these images. If you Google Paige, you will see these exactly the same thing.
Yeah, okay, that does make sense. But you said to me, what's the difference? Well, for me, one is for personal use, and it's disgusting that somebody felt the need to release such things. The other one is, I am going to do this too, and it's going to be out there. Like, but I'm not dissing what China's done or whatever. That's her choice and it's her body and whatever. But that for me, that's the difference. Is
yeah, and I'm not dissing Paige either. Like when I'm just using Paige as an example.
Yeah.
I did really like Paige. It's a shame her career's been cut short. I still think she could be in the Hall of Fame anyway, just because what she did in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
She was. I think she was 2-time Divas champion. She was a general manager. She, has her own film that was a WWE Studios film.
She has had a massive impact on the women's industry.
She was NXT Women's Champion for like 360 days or something.
Yeah.
And who's to say, in a few years they don't find something that can cure her neck problem like they did Edge, or she could even, have other roles in the company. So yeah, I do hope to see China in the Hall of Fame one day, and I'm just saying it because we brought it up. I think Paige deserves to be in there. When obviously, 20, 30 years down the line.
Okay.
So if you are enjoying this podcast, please give it a like. Let us know what you thought in the comments. If there is a different type of podcast show you'd like us to do, leave your ideas in the comments also. And please subscribe to the channel. It is the best way to help us build the channel. So yes, please subscribe to the channel. So the next question to the wife is, who is your least favourite commentator?
Right, my least favourite commentator would have to be Jerry Lawler. And the reason for that is I just don't like the way that, not that he treats women, obviously it's not that, but it's the way that he uses women and perceives them and stuff like that, always talking about their bodies and their puppies and this and that. I just find it
degrading.
Yeah, very degrading. And I know back in the Attitude Era and all that was kind of his character or whatever, but it's just I just feel like it was all he ever talked about the women. Like I feel like he had nothing else to ever say about them.
Yeah.
I can't. Other commentators, even now still say about good talents and that, and I just feel like he doesn't. Yeah, that's probably my least favourite.
Oh wow.
Okay. Last question.
I know. Yeah, I can't believe how quick we've got through these.
I know. Your last question is an easy one. Nice and easy.
I feel like my last one for you is like an easy question as well, to be honest.
What is your favourite WCW pay-per-view?
Oh, it is Spring Stampede. Is it 99? I want to say. So the main event is Sting go. No, it's not. Start again. So it's Spring Stampede 1999. I want to say. The main event is Ric Flair defending his title against Hogan, Sting, and DDP. Macho Man Randy Savage is the special guest referee. Think of the star power in that main event. DDP actually does win the match. It wasn't Sting, which probably people think goes get a bigger match where Sting wins. But no, yeah, even the opening match between Uvichu Guerrero and I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. It's like Blitzberg or something. I can't say his name properly, but their opening match was really good as well. So yeah, I would definitely say that it is one of the first things I watched when we went into lockdown.
Okay.
So my last question to you is, what is your favourite WrestleMania?
My favourite WrestleMania? WrestleMania. Let me just double check something before I give you an answer.
So I will quickly just go back to my favourite WCW pay-per-view. Like I said, it was Spring Stampede. It was 1999. So other matches on that card, there was Booker T versus Scott Steiner for the WCW United States Championship. There was Goldberg against Kevin Nash. There was also Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko against Perry Saturn and Raven, which surprised me because I actually thought it was for the tag team titles, but it wasn't. The tag team champions at that time were Ray and Billy Kidman. Them two fought each other for the Cruiserweight Championship in that match. Probably the low point of the show was Conan versus Disco Inferno. Scotty Riggs actually had quite a decent match with Mikey Whipwreck. And there was a hardcore match between Bam Bam Bigelow and Hack, also known as the Sandman. Why they called him Hack, who will know. But yeah, that would be my favourite WCW pay-per-view, Spring Stampede 1999. I
think I'm going to go with WrestleMania 31.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good call.
I went for WrestleMania 31. I can remember Daniel Bryan winning the ladder match.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that. Obviously the Triple H and Sting. I know that Sting didn't win, but still great to see Sting in WWE, and
I was literally fuming when that happened.
you were mad, but you were happy at the same time when he was out there until he lost.
Yeah.
Seeing the Bella Twins be in a tag team match.
Yeah, proper featured match.
A proper featured match, yeah, not just like
a multi-person.
Yeah, battle royale or whatever. Got to see Cena as well, and then I think the Seth Rollins coming in with the Money in the Bank. I think that was that was brilliant.
I think WrestleMania 31 is one of the WrestleMania cards where you can't name a bad match on the card.
Yeah.
You know, because some of them, some WrestleManias have high points and low points. I think this was a very good, consistent show.
I think it may have been the only one where I fell asleep during Undertaker's entrance, but actually not. I think I fell asleep for the least amount of time.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, obviously, for those viewers, especially if you're in America, that we live in the UK, so we're up till like 4 o'clock in the morning watching it, and I am just a very sleepy person. Not very good at staying awake, so often we put pay-per-views on and I will fall asleep because I just can't hack it. I'm not very good with that.
I think the only pay-per-view not fallen asleep to was Women's Evolution. We stayed up for that.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. That's the only.
I'm sure I've stayed awake for a whole Royal Rumble before.
Really? Was that when we were in Australia and it was on at like 12 o'clock midday over there?
Potentially.
I don't think you have.
Okay.
Because, and also we were at one Royal Rumble, so you technically did stay awake for that.
Thanks.
Because 2017, we both fell asleep actually during the AJ Cena match. I remember that.
Oh, did we? What house were we in that?
Not the house we're living in now.
No. Okay.
Great content for you podcast listeners. Where were we living?
I was trying to picture it. I'm sure I've stayed awake. Didn't we go to a SummerSlam at your sister's house?
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe that was actually my favourite SummerSlam of all time, probably 2013. So yeah, I think maybe you did actually.
And I did stay awake because we just got Louis.
Yeah. So Louis was our cat that has unfortunately now passed away. Yeah, good way to end the show, darling, on a right downer.
Anyway, yeah, so I'm sure I stayed awake for that sort of stuff. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this.
Don't you just wrap it? It's my show. Don't you just wrap it up?
It's the man and the wife.
Exactly, you're second. I've not finished talking to you.
Right.
I wanted to say to you, have you actually enjoyed doing this question episode of the podcast?
Up until like 10 seconds ago, it was brilliant.
Because when I came up with the idea, I didn't really think you seemed keen on the idea, that was all.
I just thought I thought that maybe you'd ask me questions that I couldn't answer. But there wasn't too many hard ones.
So you feel like you did alright?
I feel like I did okay.
That's good.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
How were my questions?
They were very good, actually.
You seem very surprised.
I wasn't very surprised, actually. I thought you were just going to be like, oh, what's your favourite Royal Rumble? What's your favourite SummerSlam? What's your favourite Sting match?
Well, that shows you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Feel free to wrap it up.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to keep on talking.
Oh, okay. Yes, well, sometimes I do surprise you and...
Okay. I'll wrap things up now then.
Yep.
So if you enjoyed this podcast show today, please leave a like. Let us know in the comments if you'd like to see more of these question podcasts. Also, if you could comment a question in the comment part, obviously, with a question you'd like to ask us. We could maybe do a question episode, answering, obviously, your questions. It'd be something we could do in the future. And also, please subscribe to us. That is the best way to help us build the channel. And also, check out the other content on the channel. We have got loads and loads of 2K20 content. There is Universal Modes going up Monday to Friday, and even a weekday when there's a pay-per-view that week. We have Fun with Figures episodes going up on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have a watch-along going up every Saturday. And also, obviously, the podcast goes up every Sunday. So that is all from the man
and the wife.
podcast show today. Thank you for listening.